Well, I don't know if you know this or not by now. And I saw that post from Angel Reese or what I thought was Angel Reese or whatever I got told was Angel Reese about the white girl didn't want any of the fade or something like that. I thought it had to be a mistake. Somebody asked me about it and I said, no, surely to God she would not have even Angel Reese surely realizes not to repost something like that, right?
Welcome to the arena where truth lives. No filters, no scripts, no apologies. Just real talk about sports, raw, honest, and unapologetic.
Hell, I guess I was wrong. I guess she did. And so now that I'm really starting to look into this, I'm like, God, not only is this real, but you've got media members that actually do try to hold the WNBA to some kind of responsibility. They're talking about there's no room for hate, this and that and the other one. And you got a player that's blatantly advocating for violence against far and away your most popular player. All right, and bringing race into the situation.
Today, we're diving into what could be the most impactful controversy the WNBA has ever faced. This goes far beyond basketball. It's a clash of culture, race, integrity, and the real test of a league that claims to stand for equity and justice. At the heart of it are two rising stars, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And looming behind them is a league on the verge of losing its credibility. Let's break it all down.
But this was put out right here. Again, hell, I thought it was fake originally. And I guess it's not. I mean, it's crazy. White girl running from the fade. There's Angel Reese right there. There's, of course, Caitlin Clark doing the responsible thing, not wanting to tank her public relations. Like Angel Reese walking away after the take foul the other night, or the other day against the Chicago Sky.
It all began with a single social media post, a TikTok that went viral almost instantly, captioned "White Girl Running from the Fade." The video captured a moment from a WNBA game between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. Caitlin Clark, arguably the biggest name in women's sports today, had just taken a tough foul. Instead of retaliating, she walked away, choosing to stay composed, protect her image, and avoid any escalation.
And I was like, again, somebody sent that to me and I said, it's got to be fake. And I was like, nope, here's a video on TikTok right here. And that picture is in this video. And it was reposted by Angel Reese. And let me see if I have the ability there. I'm going to just turn that down because I don't want a copyright strike. But right there. There's the picture. And Angel Reese did, in fact, repost this on TikTok, it looks like. And share it. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Or are you kidding me? And the WNBA is going after and lecturing Indiana Fever fans in this investigation? Are you trying to tell me Angel Reese is not going to get suspended for this? Not going to get fined for this? Or is the WNBA too gutless to stand up against things like this, even if it is against a white woman?
In any reasonable world, that response would be seen as admirable, the kind of composure you'd expect from a true leader. But instead, someone saw an opportunity to stir the pot. They twisted the moment, turned it into a meme, and slapped on a caption implying that Clark was afraid, a coward, that she was literally running from a fight.
Right here, Angel Reese cries about racism that never happened, then goes on and reposts openly racist TikToks. This is why the WNBA is a joke. And not only allows, but encourages racism against white people. Well, it takes a step further here. Because my boy over at Outkick, Bobby Burack, who's a hell of a good journalist, did reach out to the WNBA. Right here, I asked the WNBA if they had a comment on Angel Reese's racist post on TikTok about Caitlin Clark. The league had no comment. nor would it address Reese suggesting she wants to fight Caitlin Clark. So much for, quote, zero tolerance for hate. You know, the WNBA is running an ad right now about, I think, the physicality of the league. And at some point, we just gotta ask the question: is this what Kathy Engelbert and the WNBA wanted? Is this what they wanted? Is all this drama, all this? I mean, I understand it's good for ratings. Maybe the commissioner's sitting back and she's secretly smiling about this or whatnot, but you're still targeting the fan base that's funding this whole thing in the Indiana Fever.
And then came Angel Reese, one of the WNBA's biggest stars, with millions of followers and a powerful public voice. She reposted the video. No clarification, no denial, just a signal boost. And that's when everything shifted. To grasp the full impact, you have to understand who these players are. Caitlin Clark isn't just another rookie. She's a phenomenon. A ratings machine. A cultural force. She drew more viewers to the women's NCAA championship than the men's, a historic first. She's been packing arenas in a league that previously struggled to fill even mid-sized venues. She brought money, attention, and a level of mainstream visibility women's basketball has rarely seen. Angel Reese is a force in her own right. She rose to national fame during LSU's title run, building a devoted fan base by embracing her identity and speaking boldly. She's confident, polarizing, and marketable, part of a new generation of black athletes unapologetically rewriting the script and refusing to fit into anyone else's idea of what they should be. So when Angel Reese shares a racially charged video mocking Caitlin Clark, it's not just about that single post. It resonates on a cultural level. It sends a message. And when the WNBA chooses to stay silent, intentionally or not, that silence becomes a message too.
All right. They're the ones grabbing the ratings. They're the ones paying up for the tickets, even on the road. And I've got to wonder, are you going to start seeing more empty seats even at Caitlin Clark games? Because I can tell you this, just from what I can gauge, a lot of Fever fans are already sort of fed up. All right, they're already sort of fed up, and you could hear it from the crowd. The crowd said that they, I guess, Kathy Engelbert came over and lectured the crowd prior to the game the other day. How about at Kathy Engelbert? Does she have any comment? If the WNBA wants to be taken seriously, we should have transparency on these types of issues.
Let's unpack this. The WNBA has long marketed itself as a league built on values, inclusivity, accountability, and respect. They run campaigns about unity, spotlight their diversity, and proudly stand for justice. But where's that same energy now? When a fan says something questionable, whether it's genuinely offensive or just inconvenient, the league launches an investigation. When someone challenges the dominant narrative, they are often branded a bigot or a misogynist. But when a high-profile player reposts a provocative, racially charged clip targeting a fellow athlete, the WNBA stays silent. No statement. No consequences. Not even a warning. That's not principled leadership. That's avoidance dressed up as progress.
The WNBA is officially having their Jussie Smollett Bubba Wallace hoax situation. Right here, right now. You're watching it. And there's other things going on like this being shared by Angel Reese. WNBA's turning a blind eye to it. Do they not realize, look, if you want to be taken as a, number one, if you want to keep all these new fans around, and you want to be treated like a real sports league, you've got to start taking things like this seriously and quit worrying about going after somebody because they made a crack about Brittany Griner being arrested in Russia. Sports fans are going to go after Brittany Griner over that. They're going to heckle her over that. I heard that yesterday and was like, are you kidding me? Fact. Brittany Griner got arrested in Russia for cannabis oil, which is illegal in Russia. You expect sports fans to not literally heckle her with that during a game? Have you ever been to a Raiders game, an Eagles game? You gotta be kidding me.
Now let's flip the script for a moment. Imagine if Caitlin Clark had shared a video captioned, "Black girl can't handle the smoke." We all know what would happen, and rightfully so. The backlash would be immediate and widespread. There'd be national outrage, endless opinion pieces, calls for suspensions. Brands would pull deals. ESPN would dedicate days of coverage. Activists would flood social media. Because that kind of comment would be offensive, inflammatory, and totally unacceptable. So why is the reverse being tolerated? The truth is uncomfortable. It's not acceptable. But some people pretend it is because they are afraid. Afraid of being labeled racist, even when they are calling out actual racism. Let's be absolutely clear. Racism is racism, no matter the direction. It's not excused by history, frustration, or power dynamics. Targeting someone because of their race isn't empowerment, it's prejudice. And if the WNBA wants to be seen as a serious professional league, it can't treat morality like a buffet, picking and choosing values when it's convenient. Now let's talk about the people keeping this league alive, the fans. Right now, Indiana Fever supporters are among the most passionate in the league. They show up, travel, cheer, and care deeply. And how are they rewarded? With lectures. With warnings. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert reportedly addressed Fever fans before a recent game, not to thank them for their energy or support, but to scold them for their tone and behavior. This, in the middle of an investigation that now appears to have been based on a completely unfounded claim of racism. Meanwhile, Angel Reese reposts racially charged content with no consequence, not even a slap on the wrist. You don't need a PR degree to see why this is a problem. You don't need a marketing background to understand what happens when fans feel insulted by the very league they support. All you need is common sense. If this keeps up, the stands will empty, even at Caitlin Clark games. That's how serious this could get. The absurdity of it all was recently summed up by a joke. A parody headline read, "WNBA to ban booing." It was satire, but here's the kicker. Thousands of people believed it. Why? Because it didn't sound far-fetched. It sounded like something the WNBA might actually do.
Somebody, NBA Centel, which is a parody site, a satire site, shared a fake post about the WNBA banning booing. All right? At first glance, I saw it, was like, well, I can't believe it took them this long. And then I saw who posted it, was like, okay, good. But that just tells you it got a lot of people. That post, a lot of people thought it was real, because at this point, we're expecting the WNBA to literally do something absurd like ban booing in a sports league.
That's how far things have fallen. When satire starts sounding like prophecy, and the line between what's real and what's ridiculous disappears. If people genuinely believe your league might ban booing, a basic part of the sports experience, then you're no longer being taken seriously. You've stopped being a professional league and started becoming a punchline. A spectacle. And when fans start laughing at you instead of with you, you've got a major problem. Let's step away from the basketball court for a second and talk business. Sponsors don't pour money into chaos. Broadcasters don't hand out big contracts for controversy fatigue. Merchandisers avoid unpredictable PR messes. And when a league can't even apply its own rules consistently, it sends a clear message to investors. You can't count on us. Every brand that partnered with the WNBA because of its supposed values is watching closely. And every act of hypocrisy, every silent shrug at clear violations, chips away at that credibility. If the league loses the trust of its corporate backers, no viral highlight reel or TikTok moment will be enough to save it. So when does Adam Silver get involved? Let's not forget, the WNBA operates under the NBA's umbrella. Many teams are partially owned by NBA franchises. Their reputation, good or bad, reflects back on the entire sport. If this downward spiral continues, it won't just be a WNBA issue. It becomes a basketball issue. A brand issue. Silver has a choice to make, and it can't wait until next season or after the playoffs. The time to step in is now. Caitlin Clark brought millions of new fans to women's basketball, people who had never tuned in before. And now those same fans are watching a league fumble its biggest opportunity, one crisis at a time. The WNBA is standing at a crossroads. One path leads to growth, credibility, and respect. The other leads to division, double standards, and a slow march toward irrelevance. And this isn't just about Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark, it's about the soul of the league. Because here's the hard truth, you can't have it both ways. You can't claim zero tolerance for hate, then stay silent when hate fits your narrative. You can't reprimand fans while letting players slide. You can't brand yourself as a league of values and then go mute when those values are violated. You're either a serious sports league, or you're just putting on a political show. You're either consistent, or you're fake. So, WNBA, what's it going to be?